It's actually SK that banned the Outcasted in as well, which is I don't know whether that was like, he was like, nah, wait, what?
That's not what I wanted.
But nevertheless, Vayne has been taken away, so we're not going to see Candy Panda get in that one. And Lissandra also being taken away. So actually, Zoro, Zero, Kevin, Ocelot, these are all players that have managed to use Lissandra in the past.
Yeah, and it looks like they definitely don't. They want to ban out a lot of targeted things. So we see the Vayne coming in as well, which we talked about for Candy Panda. They don't want to let them have, or him have that specifically. And Kevin, and the Shun taken away from, which he's currently been doing extremely well. 3 games played, 2 wins with it, with a 6.2 KDA. So he's definitely been very strong within that. But SK, like typically, they like leaving the last pick for Ocelot, and they like being on that red side because they can completely counter anything they want to pick. But right now on the blue side, they're going to have a little bit of a tough time because in this series, LemonDogs is up 2-0.
It's interesting to see Nunu still so heavily banned out because we're in 3.9 now.
Right.
And there's a lot of people sort of are debating whether he's still as strong to deserve a ban because he didn't have that great of success in the NA LCS over the last 2 days.
Yeah, it's all due to that consume change where he doesn't have that 602 damage, is down to 500. So it's really hard for him to just steal something away from you, which, I mean, obviously you still can, you're a Nunu, but it's a lot different now.
Well, at least being the final ban. That's, of course, we've seen Dexter and Hercubot running very strong over the last few days, as well as Nif, actually. Now I come to think of it, Nif's played a very strong support, at least, over the last few matches. So, first pick of the game, and it's going to be Twisted Fate. Have they been baited into it? Was LemonDogs expecting this?
I would assume so. I mean, as you realize, if you leave Twisted Fate open, it's going to be picked by pretty much any single team right now. Maybe Gambit's the only one that wouldn't pick that one up because they know exactly that. Yeah, I mean, he's such a strong pick, but teams haven't practiced him as much lately because they know they haven't been able to pick them. So we're going to see how that's really going to develop here.
Well, Sion selected at the moment. Not sure about that one myself, but who knows? You never know. They're having a discussion right now saying, should we really keep it up there any longer, or should we let the casters put out their misery?
I was thinking, if they're going to pick him as like a special lane, he's never really picked anyways, so why would you pick him right off the bat? So that's got to be definitely a troll ban. But the Jarvan, that looks more realistic here.
And there we go. Thresh and Jarvan being locked in. So Dexter going back to Jarvan. It always tends to be his fallback if he doesn't get Elise or doesn't get anything else. What is else he played lately? Lee Sin actually he played, didn't he, last week?
Yeah, Dexter. Yeah, so the Elise was against Gambit that we saw. It was extraordinarily well, and he's been putting out a lot of different champions that we normally don't see out of him in particular in the jungle. So with the Jarvan, I'm assuming he's been working on quite a bit, and it provides quite a bit of CC. The Thresh, though, Mithy, I don't think he's even played him that much this split. But I want to see how many hooks he can land, because if you're watching OGN earlier, Mad Life, oh my gosh, those pulls. It's like it's like a targeted spell. It's not even like a skill shot for him.
It's the one he lands up, knows exactly where the Arcane Shift is going before it's even used. And he's like, you are going to Arcane Shift here. Just hooks him straight out. Yep. If you haven't seen it, guys, check it out after the game or during the load screen. It's only about 9-10-second clip, so you can easily get it in there nevertheless. Hercubot looking like he's going to be picking up Ezreal for Candy Panda because Vayne was taken away, so that's his second fallback champion, it seems, and Nami being selected for Nif with against Thresh. And, well, what tab's going towards? He had Twitch selected, now he's going towards Cogmore. Champion we haven't seen a great deal of, but of course he's going to fall back onto Caitlyn.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, there's like 2 hyper carry 80, or hyper 80 carries, if that even makes sense, and that's going to be Kog'Maw and Vayne. And Kog'Maw, I mean, it's still a very strong champion, but it's really hard to make it work in these compositions when you have so many assassins who can just dive into the back line on you. Obviously doesn't have that escape mechanism, but this is looking like more of a legitimate pick here, as we will see Nukeduck on Ryze. So, actually, no, it won't be Nukeduck on Ryze. It'll be Zoro Zero. And the thing is, Zoro, he's strong in lane with Ryze, but he's been camped quite heavily by junglers. Like, they've gone for some very quick pushes to take his turret down, but most teams will leave him alone. And when he has the opportunity, he just farms up like crazy, and he becomes this really strong force later on that it's really hard for the other team to deal with, which I believe SK did against them last time they met in Week 5.
Tab's not looking like he's going to change, so it will be Caitlyn, sure enough. It's Caitlyn or Varus. That's really who he plays.
I mean, he's expanded his champion pool quite a bit, but you're definitely right. I mean, Caitlyn, Varus, we talked about him in Week 1. Only played Caitlyn in the Summer Promotion Tournament. We were confused. If you bet on Caitlyn, will you counter him? But he's proven he can play some other things, and it's going to be a very strong champion. Obviously, you have the range, and it's a very good counter to Nami. As long as you don't get hit with the slow off of her, the bubbles are going to be really hard to land.
So, final picks. They've already got that mid laner and the bottom lane secured, so it's going to be jungler and top lane they're going to be locking in. Or is it?
I think we're going to see Xin come out of us. Oh, wow. Just I said, I was thinking maybe Xin because...
Another Aatrox. That'd be the 3rd Aatrox of the day.
Yeah. I mean, we only saw him once the first week was available, and then now he's being picked like crazy, and it looks like we will have that jungle Aatrox and a Jace. So even with the tier changes, it looks like they still want to give Jace a go.
I'm wondering how Jace has managed to sneak through. He's not had that much of a nerf yet, still.
It's just really hard to stack that tier, so the thing is, it's okay, so it's a lot harder to do that. That also means your mirror mana comes in or later, which means you're not as powerful early on to use that to your advantage. So it is a little bit of a hit to him, but it looks like they will go with it. So
that's a quick locked in Z there as well. Fast locked in, so that's going to be Nuke Duck trying to counter out Twisted Fate in that mid lane. Will be able to put some burst down on him, but I don't think Ocelot's going to want to stick around long enough to fight straight 1v1.
He's actually played him in 3 games, that Zed. 2 wins out of it, has an 8 KDA. So that's a very good champion for him. It's very assassin-like. It's going to be hard for anyone to 1v1 him if he does split push, which he typically likes to do. And honestly, I kind of like that champion. Well, I'm waiting for this Thresh and Ryze to switch around finally because we only have 25 seconds left and it's taken a while. There we go. Got a little scared there.
We're finally into a normal match here, Jason. This is the 4th game of the day, and finally we've got a standard setup once again, just like in Game 1. So we haven't had the craziness of Game 2 and Game 3. What are we seeing here from the 2 teams? Now we can actually look at a team and go, we know this, we've seen it before.
Well, we heard Simon talk about over an SK side that the Zac, it's kind of, he thinks it's stronger in the lane than it is in the jungle, but we're going to see obviously on Hercubot. So it looks like they want to just harass quite a bit with Kevin and then kind of go for a strong initiate after that with the tidal wave following up, and then the Zac lets bounce. There's not a lot of synergy within their team for this, so it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to use it. But with the Ezreal, if you go blue build, you obviously have a lot of poke behind that as well. But over for LemonDogs, I mean, I'm going to assume that they just want to get Nuke Duck split pushing with that Zed. You have a Caitlyn to clear waves, you have a Jarvan to protect you, have Zora Zero who's going to be very tanky on that Rise, and not to mention Mithy on Thresh who can throw that box down, and then obviously it's really hard to chase through that.
Well, we'll see how it works out. We see the players getting themselves ready. The giant headsets on. That's to shut our big traps up so they can't hear what we say, and they can't hear what the other team says as well. That's really the main reason, but nothing gets given away to these guys. So they're setting themselves up here in the studio. And Mithy in front of his, well, actually, technically, Ocelot and Mithy in front of their home Spanish crowd in Tenerife last week were both very successful. We saw Ocelot crowd surfing towards the end. Mithy had a few words for Gran Canaria, didn't really please the Tenerife fans, but nevertheless, he is from the islands and his mother and father were there to see what a big deal it is to actually be a player here in the LCS. So here we go. Blue team is going to be SK Gaming. They're on your screens. And, of course, LemonDogs. They are the red team. LemonDogs currently 2-0 up against SK in this series of 4 matches that they will be playing out in total. And so far today, actually, if you look at the stats, everyone was 2-0 up, and now today, they're all 3-0 up. So, that, in its favor, says LemonDogs are going to win. That's it, GG.
But, I mean, yeah, a lot of teams have been winning that out, but it obviously doesn't mean that's exactly what's going to happen here, because SK, they're going to want to put up a fight, and right now, look at the compositions in terms of how this game's going to go. LemonDogs, it looks like they went for more of a late-game composition, because obviously with the Caitlyn, you're not as strong mid-game as you are compared to a lot of other AD carries, and not to mention Ryze, who just gets stronger as the game goes on, but has that weak early phase. And on an SK side, with that Twisted Fate, with the Jace, with the Thresh, they want to apply a lot of pressure early on. They want to make some plays happen and kind of take it right off the bat. But right now, the LemonDogs are going for a bait here. They're running into a 5-man SK.
Oh, they just showed each other that little bit early. I think Demacia Standard probably would have used to check that bush, but it seems SK, they're quickly going to try and turn around. They're going for the red buff invade of their own, I think.
Huh, well, the thing is, they have a ward down to see if LemonDogs will be at the red buff here. They're actually going to spot him coming into that side of the jungle as well. And a little bit surprised that they gave up the positioning, because they had a relatively strong team to fight. But they are going to position around this, and with Candy Pen and Nif sticking towards the top side, it looks like they will go into that top lane.
Well, actually, I think they expect LemonDogs to go for a red buff invade, but instead they haven't. They backed off. They simply put a ward there.
Oh, Zoro, you're going to get caught here.
No, he's going to walk straight in towards it. The stun card gets down. He does manage to flash away. The Aqua Prison not quite going to land. The exhaust is on him. It should be enough. The final kill will be given to Ocelot. And that is first blood. 2 minutes gone. Now the red buff will get stolen away. And will LemonDogs be able to react to this on time?
That was a great job by the position right there to get that kill. But unfortunately, Nif, he missed the bubble. He missed the Aqua Prison, so he's forced to flash in and exhaust. But Dexter, realizing his red's going to be gone, he's actually going to go for invade. And the ward that was previously down at red for SK is now gone.
Yeah, it was an Explorer ward, I think, that they put down there. And it does mean LemonDogs will be able to take away that red buff. So they're going to be able to react on that terms. But the fact that it is 1 kill already to a Twisted Fate in the mid lane. There's the smite being used, and it is Dexter actually going to clear out the spawn as well, so he's going to have the timer on that one.
I actually remember seeing Nukeduck warming up earlier today on Zed, and he was playing against an Orianna. Did pretty well, and he's obviously been practicing the champion quite a bit. And Dexter, he's trying to go in for a gank here, but he goes into that bush. He will be spotted. Also, actually face check it. No, actually will spot him, so he's going to be forced to back away. And Kevin, going to be in the bottom 1v2 against this Caitlyn Thresh combo. He's going to have a relatively easy time in terms of farming as long as he can shock blast acceleration gate. However, with Jace, the acceleration gate cooldown was raised, so he can't use that combo as often.
But also Zoro0 is going to struggle out in that 2v1 farm to start with early on in the top. Nukeduck already putting a good burst down on Ocelot. And that middle, you can see he's won 2 of his 3 games, as you mentioned earlier on. And he has got that capability to burst down Ocelot when he starts getting some damage up on the top there. However, Zoro0, we mentioned this in the top earlier on today, earlier on before this match starts, the fact that he will get camped out, he will struggle to get some farm out there, and Candy Panda and Nif are going to keep that pressure on. You see, he hasn't been able to get any CS just yet as we approach the 4-minute mark.
The thing is, last time SK and LemonDogs met, they took his turret, which they're currently trying to do right now, and they just left him alone. And if you do that to a Rise, he's going to become too strong. And Zoro0, I mean, with how many times he's been in that position, he's going to know how to get back in that game. But both AD carry support lanes are being very aggressive. Both junglers just sticking around that lane to help out, which means Nukeduck, he could potentially go for a kill on the Ocelot because he knows the jungler won't be there to stop him.
Keeping good harass down as well. Tabs putting that pilt over on towards Hercubot and Kevin, and it does mean that the double buffs that both junglers did pick up, not really being put to good use.
Yeah, but I mean, we're able to keep the turrets alive. We're able to get some experience off that as well, as we do see some damage coming onto Ocelot right there. And Nukeduck, he's being very aggressive. He really wants to go for this kill. He went for an early Doran shield because the auto attacks out of Ocelot are really going to harass him quite a bit, but it reduces those by 8 damage.
Well, apparently it is very strong. Mithy told me that one. Get
strong or overpowered?
Get OP, of course. Of course, that's the one word. It isn't as strong, it's just OP. Everything's OP. Candy Panda, though, with that buff coming out from Nif, is it going to be enough to turn it around? The Aqua Prism doesn't land. Dexter goes aggressive, puts out the Dragon Lance on towards Candy Panda, and immediately a lot of damage being dealt towards him. He's going to have to get topped off by Nif.
I would say they probably could have fought for that, but they had no idea where Hercubot was, but he just showed himself bottom again, and Dexter's taking a lot of harass here, but they're soaking up a lot of experience, and this game, it's pretty much just completely mirrored across the map.
It's basically standard lanes, and Ocelot again taking damage from Nukeduck. Nukeduck doing a fantastic job as I smash my microphone away, but nevertheless, LemonDogs are doing a fantastic job of keeping the pressure down. Hercubot's been in this bottom lane. He's tiny right now. He's only a little Zac, and you see the tower damage already down to half. I feel that LemonDogs are doing a better job at keeping the pressure on this bottom lane.
Yeah, they are by far right now. That turret's already down about a third life. Over on the top side's actually still about half life right now, and that was all due to just how much pressure Tabs can put on the lane, considering he can push the lane a lot quicker than Candy Panda can with those Piltover Peacemakers.
Well, at the moment, we do
Dexter
see
comes back up top.
Dexter coming back to top. Got himself that Spirit Stone, and he's just going to keep the pressure on. LemonDogs want to turn this one quickly. They want to get this tower down fast. Going to keep the pressure on. Kevin is not going to be given a free time. They try and go for the hook just before it, and Kevin sidesteps. But look at that. He's got no mana.
And we look at CS right now. It's pretty much even across the board in those top, or quote-unquote top lanes. And Nukeduck, he was able to push Ocelot out of lane before he was level 6, so he's going to have that level 6 ahead of him. And that means that he could potentially burst Ocelot down with that Ignite. And we're going to see as that comes in a little bit later, as Zoro is going to catch Nif here. And actually, he wasn't spotted coming back towards his top lane, so he's trying to make a play happen. He's trying to make a gank work out for them.
It's going to be the turret going down. The hook gets thrown by Mithy, but it only finds a minion. Now Candy Panda, he takes a big burst of damage. Ignite should be enough. Yes, it is. Zoro0 picks up a kill, and that was the first one for LemonDogs.
And that was in ideally a 1v2 lane. Well, in the end, it's a 1v2 lane, but it's actually coming into 2v2. But still, that's a great start for him, considering he got first blooded by Ocelot right in the beginning of the game to be able to get to lane, be able to pick up a kill for himself. It's going to help accelerate his build quite fast, considering he's going to be a little bit slow in terms of building the mana up with that tier and that catalyst.
And you see what that means between the two AD carries as well. Tabs went back, he got himself the BF sword to go with that Doran's Blade. Candy Panda is still gone for the blue Ez, effectively. Get that tier of the Goddess and a single longsword to go with the boots. So we'll see how those builds work out this early level, but instead the Cataclysm on towards Ocelot forces the flash out. They're going to be happy with that.
I think Ocelot's going to be dead when Nukeduck does go back and buy up right now, because he's sitting on quite a bit of gold. 1,800. He could go for a Brutalizer since he has 24 flat armor pen right now, and that would be a dead Twisted Fate. But so far, a great job by LemonDogs to hold on to this. Looks like they even wanted to go for Dragon off of that, which I think they actually might go for, because right now in the top lane, we see Nami backing away.
They're thinking of stealing away that large Wraith as well. Nuke was keeping the pressure on Hercubot. Hercubot himself, who was sitting in that bottom lane. Next tier of Goddess being picked up by Kevin. So despite the changes, despite the nerfs in 3.9, they're happy to keep getting that item.
Red ward.
Potentially going to come out here, but this time around, Hercubot was ready and waiting. He's got the timings. He's going to launch himself in there. On towards it. Has got the smite. Does he land it? Yes, he does. Hercubot gets the steal.
Has a great ward by him to expect LemonDogs to come in for that particularly, and then able to stop because, you know, Dexter, he expected his red buff to get invaded, and in the end, Hercubot was able to keep his, and now Dragon's being started, and not really anyone SK's here to kind of prevent it.
Well, the fact is, the smite's just been used. They're like, fine, you're going to use our smite. We know it's down, and that's going to be an easy Dragon for LemonDogs. But Hercubot, using the Let's Bounce, catches on towards Mithy, catches on towards Dexter. Dexter taking very low. The hammer gets dropped. Kevin picks himself up the second kill.
It looks like he's going to continue to go for Mithy here.
Oh, he's only got the red card actually pulled out there, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be enough. The backward prison lands. Very nicely played. Niv catching it in there, and it's Hercubot that picks up the kill.
So in the end, it was a Dragon for 2 kills, which even with blue buff being taken away from LemonDogs' jungle, it's not that bad for them because if you look at their lineup, who's going to use it? And ideally, you would try to get over to Zoro, but he's still in that top lane. So it's not a big loss for them losing that blue. Obviously, a little bit in terms of experience. But actually, if LemonDogs goes down, this is going to be terrible for him.
Well, you're going to see he's got slowed down. That red buff will do enough. And you can see there's the stun card. Very well dodged there out there. We saw Alex Itch the other week dodging out of the Requiem. This time around, Nuke dodging that stun card.
That's a phenomenal job out of him right there because he probably would have died. Obviously did have that flash to get away, and right now you're seeing Candy Panda and Zoro go head-to-head, and in terms of CS, I mean, Candy Panda is still leading, but Zoro, if he gets that just reach onto Candy Panda, he can just shut him down.
How did he miss that siege minion just there? Lost himself a big chunk of gold. Instead, Candy Panda keeping the pressure on, keeping him off that turret. Hasn't managed to push it down just yet. We do see Dexter taking that red buff. There's the hook onto Ocelot. The flay comes in as well. Tabs is going to have enough here to finish him off. Ends it with the net shot.
And that's a big slap in the face to die to a net like that. A rank 1 net. But so great job. Great pull by Mithy right there to get that kill, and that might open up another turret for them. Because keep in mind, SK has not gotten a turret because they were able to defend that top lane really well.
Well, we are going to see LemonDogs continuing that push. This will be the middle turret going down. We see the True Shot barrage coming across, but that's not going to clear out the minion wave before the tower drops. And while Candy Panda's getting himself that free farm in the top lane, the rest of his team are losing towers.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of free gold that LemonDogs is picking up. I mean, I say free, but they got Dragon, they got 2 turrets now. They're getting a little bit of a gold lead, even though they're down in C. You know, they're kind of down in CS. It's pretty much equal, except Twisted Fate passive really gives SK an advantage. That's why the lead's not that heavily in favor of LemonDogs currently.
So, how are things balanced now? It looks like Manamune is going to be picked up by both Candy Panda and Kevin as early as possible. And that, of course, in turn means the jungler's actually going exactly the same build, despite the fact they're on different champions.
We need to keep an eye on those tiers, though, on the Manamune and the regular tier currently out of Kevin, because the thing is, they're about poke right now with the whole blue build Ezreal and the Jace, so if they can't stack those tiers up quick enough, which with the changes they're not going to be able to, they're not going to have a lot of presence, a lot of power early on, and as we know, poke comps, when they fall behind, they kind of stay behind.
Now seeing both duo lanes now moving to this top. We'll see whether it does work out. Nuke's got himself in this bottom lane, and he's got Hercubot and Kevin. As he's trying to put pressure on him. He's actually going to launch on the. Turns around, puts the ultimate down on towards Kevin. Is the death mark going to be enough? I'm not too sure. He is going to take some tower damage as Kevin's taken very low. But here comes Ocelot. Comes around there, flashes away from that one quickly. But now Ocelot's in trouble. Nuke's going to come back in towards this. Zoro pouring a ton of damage down on towards him. That will be enough to take him down. Great play from Zoro to save Nuke.
And that was an amazing flash by Ocelot, but even more of an amazing one by Zoro to be able to follow up like that in such a high-intensity situation, but they get the kill. I believe they even got the blue buff away from him. No, they didn't, because he didn't have one, but they were able to pick up the kill, and that's the big point.
Well, fantastic, fantastic stuff. It's amazing, and they're going to keep the pressure actually on towards Nuke now, who got a little bit too close to it. Flash comes out from Hercubot, going to get the slowdown. Kevin trying to go close the gap, get the hammer on him. If I could just get my words out, I'll be able to tell you Hercubot got the kill.
But LemonDogs are going to get another turret off of that, and that is a good trade for them in the end, as long as they can hold on to that bottom one. But Zoro, he's pushing middle right now. He's keeping that aggression on every single lane they possibly can. And SK, they need to be able to react. And what's kind of funny is that because of how these lanes developed early on with having the junglers in each lane and or in the solo lanes to kind of protect from the lanes being pushed down, is that Ocelot wasn't able to make anything happen early on. He wasn't able to use his ultimate to make some ganks happen, which kind of sets him back a little bit in the early game.
Yeah, it sets him back a lot. In fact, he's with all those towers down, he's not really got the chance to zip around the lanes and keep the pressure on, because the pressure's all on SK Gaming right now. Can they take this bottom turret? They're going to back away from it, actually. Hercubot happy to let that one go through, and Tabs will clear out the way, so minions will not drop it down just yet. This top turret, we said it was on Half-Life, it's still on Half-Life 2 right now.
Well, when's it going to be at Half-Life 3? Because that's what everyone, I think, in the world is waiting for, and it looks like LemonDogs will be able to hold it down, though. I mean, he has, even though Zed's wave clear was nerfed with his Q, he still does pretty well.
It is Zora Zero's coming back in the middle, and look at this, it's the red buff fight all over again. Hercubot got it with his smite last time around. Dexter let that one slide, but again, this time it will be taken by another smite.
But the pressure, though, that Dexter applies because of knowing when the red's up, being there, forcing Hercubot to be there all the time, use his smite, it kind of forces SK to make a predictable move for LemonDogs, and they're able to kind of counter that in some sort of way. They know exactly where Hercubot's going to be, so Tabs can keep pushing that bottom lane. They know where he's going to be, so Zora Zero can keep doing that, and it kind of keeps their farm up, which right now, Zora Zero, he's actually ahead of his counterpart, Kevin.
And we do see the Brutalizer was just picked up, but as you mentioned, the Mod of Age is now completed. Tear of the Goddess on both of them has been stacking for a while now, and it's still going to have a long time to go. Dragon is up in 10 seconds, and LemonDogs in ideal situation. Blue buff's going to be given across to Zora Zero, I feel. And that's going to mean they're going to move straight down to that Dragon. SK Gaming not even close.
And look what Nukeduk's doing. He's split pushing by himself to kind of keep the attention on him so they couldn't pick up this free Dragon, which right now, knowing that Hercubot doesn't have his smite up again because he used it on red, they're going to take another free Dragon from it.
Is a Dragon gone, and yet more gold complete. Continues to slide LemonDogs' favor. 3-0 up as well. It's actually impressive for SK. They're actually still so close. Wow, straight away jumping on. Cataclysm used. Ocelot's going to actually use his ultimate, but no, he isn't. Hooked out of it by Mythy. And honestly, he could have cancelled that ulti and walked away in time, but instead, very good play by LemonDogs again.
And Dexter's been trying to use his ultimate on Ocelot so consistently just to make it so he doesn't have that flash up in these team fights. And you saw right there, without it up, he's very squishy, very easy to be killed. And LemonDogs, they're not pushing on a middle inner turret.
Yeah, they're going to chip away at it. Tabs continuing to keep it down. It's on Half-Life, and it continues to happen. And as it is, NukeDuck, he's not been involved yet, and this is actually how he played the exact same way with Twisted Fate. He's had it a few times, and does manage to just keep that split push going. Works out well for him. Hercubot wanted to get in there, but that's a blue buff stall by NukeDuck.
Yeah, he denies it away from... Honestly, Kevin and Ocelot both would have been happy. Even Candypan would have been happy to have that, but taken away from them makes it so their tiers will obviously won't stack as quick. Their siege potential goes down, and he's currently now level 11, so he hasn't ring 2 ultimate, which no one on SK is even at just yet. So the potential to 1v1 is even higher. And right now, Zora, if he catches Ocelot here, he should be able to live. Though he does have flash, but so should Zoro.
Oh, he's used the red card as well, so he can't even stun Zora Zero. He's just going to walk up towards him. There's the Rune Prison and the finisher. Just a big ball of light in the butt.
Oh, and you even see Ocelot on the screen right now. He was upset by that. I mean, he was actually kind of yelling at his screen because he cannot get into a lane to farm. He's sitting at 110, and every time he does, someone's waiting there to kill him. They want to keep feeding off him, and he's currently 1-4. He's doing the Alex Itch strategy with Twisted Fate.
NukeDuck poised and ready to go on towards Kevin. Puts a bit of burst down, and Kevin's like, yep, don't want none of that. Gonna keep away from him. In fact, he's got that blue buff on. He's gonna keep his cooldowns off. Candy Panda trying desperately to keep the farm going, keep on top. He's the only person at the moment that's keeping up in farm between the lanes with Tabs, but it's becoming a more difficult task as LemonDogs continue to split all across every single lane, driving it down. And this middle turret, it's not long left with it. They are going to catch on towards it. Dexter runs distraction while the rest of the team take the turret. It's another one. It's 4-0 in turret so far. SK not looking strong here.
Yeah, 4-0. That is a huge number now for LemonDogs because that is so much gold. 4 turrets, 2 dragons. Like, that's so much gold that they've been able to accrue throughout this game that they're starting to complete items a lot quicker. You look, at 0-0. Had a tough time in lane. Now 4-1 with a Rod of Aegis. I mean, he's got to be so happy. Sitting on 2,000 gold. NukeDuck's sitting on 2,000 gold as well. And so is Tabs, who's just about to hit that 2,000 mark. So when they go back and buy, they're going to be even stronger for these fights so they can siege the turrets down. And that forces SK to pretty much make a move. Do they want to fight for this when they feel underpowered? Or are they going to just try to potentially stop the siege with their own poke?
Well, they're poking out all the lanes as LemonDogs all went back to buy, apart from Tabs, of course, who continues to just farm in that mid lane, keeping Ocelot away from that turret. Now got 2k gold. He's going to head back, get himself some sizable items. We'll see what it is that comes out. 2,200 gold also on Candy Panda. As you mentioned, he's just clearing out those golems in the bottom lane, so he's got a lot of gold as well. But again, as you say, with all those advantages gained from turrets, from the dragon, it keeps that bonus goal. Everybody gets topped off, and especially, more importantly, the supports and junglers. They're the ones that really benefit from those global objectives.
Yeah, I'm really glad you said that, because that is a point that really goes unnoticed a lot of the times, is that think of how much gold they get from these objectives and how many more wards it gets them, how much early an Oracle it gets them, and right now at this stage, an early Oracle can give you a sneaky Baron. It could give you easy engages that you're looking for, especially against a team like SK has.
And as it stands, the Philo Stone on Mithy is going to give him a bonus advantage over Nifu, yet to build that one out there. We do see Candy Panda looking across, and this time they're going aggressive on towards Mithy. Let's Bounce being used by Hercubot very early on. He's got really near his team, not quite nearby. The passive is available, has to flash away from it. Finally, Ocelot was there, but they're fighting desperately for this red buff. Every single time so far, it's been in the contest. Oh, this time around, Hercubot uses that smite too early, and this time Dexter does get it.
Yeah, great job, and it looks like they're going to continue this. SK are also getting caught.
And Cataclysm comes out once again.
My.
He does get taken down. The Piltover comes across. And, well, it's not looking good for him. The death mark down there. Nuke, though, picks up the kill. The Ignite is going to drop him, though. Kevin gets revenge.
That was so close, but still, in the meantime, because he was able to kill him, they're going to get another turret off of this. And this goal lead is... it's actually not that big for LemonDogs, considering what's been happening so far. They're only up about 4,000 gold after this turret does drop. Actually, almost 5,000 now, but they're going to continue pushing along.
Yeah, the passive of Twisted Fate is about all that's really keeping SK within reaching distance, and come 3.10, they're not even going to have that either, so we'll see how that swings it around. As under the cosh right now, 5-0 to LemonDogs in terms of towers, and SK desperately, honestly, they haven't really got that close to taking the tower. The top one was the one they got the closest to, but all across the map, not even close.
The upside to that, though, is because of the CS, because it's 7-5 in favor of LemonDogs, and them having no turrets just yet for SK, is that there's still a lot of free gold on the map for them to pick up. So, I mean, yeah, they're behind right now, but imagine if they got 5 turrets straight. They'd actually have the gold. They'd have a lot, or be a lot stronger in items. So, just because, you know, they have those 5 turrets, but they don't have a huge kill advantage is a good sign for SK.
Well, Requiem being used by Destiny, sorry, not Requiem. That'd be interesting, coming in from a different planet. Ocelot using his Destiny to check out where the rest of the team are. They're actually to try and buy time for Kevin to get in towards that top, but we just saw a moment ago against Zora Zero, it was toe for toe, and that was with Ignite that Kevin had. He hasn't got it this time around, as Zora Zero has, so he can't engage on that one. Candy Panda also backing away. He felt a little bit of dude potential along with that ward that he had in that Tribush. Means he had to back away, and LemonDogs, sure enough, going to get themselves yet another dragon.
And look at the ward coverage they have down currently. They have 3 wards in the enemy jungle of SK, and they're able to just pretty much know they're not going to be there, take it for some free gold, and they might even... no, they're going to head, but I was about to say, they might be able to catch someone off guard here with the hook. But still, they actually might be able to do it. I do hear it go off, but they unfortunately do miss it.
Yeah, they didn't manage to land it. Look down the bottom, it's going to be Zora Zero. There's Let's Bounce being used up. There's another ulti. Gets caught by the wave, but the lantern, oh, it was thrown out, but it wasn't picked up in time. Nuke will go down. Finally, they get themselves a kill. Sure enough, Cataclysm comes back out again, used as a simple blocker there. Ocelot, though, does get a stun card down nicely on towards Mithy, and he goes down. Ocelot be happy to finally get himself a kill there. And it is now 7-7 in terms of kills. That Lich Bane may well be the turning point for Ocelot to start getting rolling.
I went back and looked at the replay of what happened with that lantern because it looked a little awkward. But what happened was Hercubot uses Let's Bounce right when he clicked the lantern. So he actually didn't get pulled away, and it used the charge.
It bounced onto him as soon as he was being pulled.
Yeah, as he grabbed the lantern, Hercubot used Let's Bounce on him and stopped it. That was just ridiculous. They end up picking up a kill, and it's important because they get a kill, they get a turret. Actually, they get 2 kills, they get a turret, but they're able to defend their inhibitor turret. So it actually worked out quite well. It actually catches them up and kills, and it gives them a lot of potential for some free gold.
Well, Candy Panda continues to try and push this one. He's going to have to back away, though. He's got himself a decent wave on there, though. How do we see it so far? He could have gone with Vayne. How would Vayne have worked in this game?
Well, I think SK would have ran a completely different lineup if they wanted to go with Vayne, though. And with the current lineup they have, not that great, because they don't have a lot of protection for Vayne. Well, the thing is, LemonDogs, like, with Nukeduck, how strong he is at this point, he's 1-3, but he's still very strong with his items. He can pretty much 1v1 Vayne right now if she was in the game. And the thing is, LemonDogs, they're more of a late-game team with that Ryze and Caitlyn, so they're only getting stronger right now, and SK is already having a tough time dealing with them.
Kevin persisting on trying to get his top turret down. Sure enough, here comes Tabs and Zoro0 to say, nope, not going to have it. It's still on half-life, and you're not going to touch it. They are really not wanting to release that top tower.
Yeah, they don't want to let any turrets go. They don't want to let that free gold go over to SK hands so they can pick up some items. Because if you look at currently, you know, Kevin, all he has is the Manimune done. But you look over his counterpart, Spirit Visage, Rod of Ages, has the tier probably already fully stacked, as I can check for you in just a second. It's just over halfway there. But he has a lot of items completed. The jungler has a runic bulwark onto Dexter. And you look at Nukeduck, who sit on that finished Blade of the Rune King. Tabs is done with his first item. He's going for Infinity Edge as his next one, which he's getting very close to. They're just ahead of them in terms of items. They're just outclassing them right there, and that's all due to these turrets going down.
Well, we'll see how it works out. The 6th turret of the game for LemonDogs is going to be focused, and it is the top inner turret. But while that's happening, Zoro0 continues to push on towards that inhibitor turret, which already had some shots from Tabs on towards it. And it's slowly taking a little bit of poke. Every little bit counts from the LemonDogs. And it's equaling kills, but it's not going to feel that way because they know they've got that 5-to-1 turret advantage. And all across the board, you just look at the ward placements. It's LemonDogs that are being more aggressive. But yeah, it really is a lot of wards. Nukeduck nearly got launched on by Hercubot, just thinking, nope, not going to catch him down. And again, more damage being done here. Kevin trying to keep that wave clear, but Tabs and Dexter are doing great work on the turret. They're going to finish this one off. That is the 6th turret of the game. Candy Panda comes in. They try and go aggressive. 90 caliber net catches on towards him. Ocelot goes in. You do see Cataclysm coming out. This time it doesn't work, and Dexter goes down.
But in the meantime, LemonDogs are pushing this middle turret because of the word coverage they have, because of what was committed by SK. They're going to get some good damage onto it.
Good play from Mithy, but it's not quite enough to stop Let's Bounce, and Zoro0 tries to turn that damage back around on towards him. Ocelot has to get that stun card out, but Tabs might be able to finish this one off. 90 caliber net, ace in the hole, should be enough. No! Candy Panda comes in, intercepts it, Wildcard gets thrown out. Will he be able to turn it around? The barrier bait, is it there? No, he missed his Q, but it manages to Arcane Shift. Now Nukeduck's going to close him down, gets the slow on him. Is it enough to manage to get away from this one? He's doing the damage. He's got to buy himself that 10-second gap away from Nukeduck. That's what he's trying to do. If he can get to this turret, he will not give up the kill to Nukeduck. Nukeduck, though, doesn't want to let it happen. He's trying to close the gap in distance. Candy Panda has to land one more of those. He's just waiting inside of there. No, he's got caught. That's Candy Panda dead.
Oh, that was such a good job by Candy Panda, though, to block the ultimate coming out of Caitlyn onto Ocelot, saved his life, and was able to pick up a kill on a Tabs, considering he was already knocked down half of his life from the ultimate. So he's doing a very, very great job by him. Nip gets pulled here, but are they able to commit off of it?
Yes, he will, because Zoro0 goes straight in. Is it going to be enough? Will the bait be there? No. He goes down. Dark Passage picked up. Kevin goes a bit too deep. Cataclysm back out. Dexter seems to have this on permanent cooldown. And again, it leads to another kill for Zoro0.
And that's 3 members of SK down right now, so they can get this middle, or they should be able to get the inhibitor off the Smithy. Oh, the flash, fortunately not going to work out, but that should be a free inhibitor for them. And considering the coverage that LemonDogs just had down on the map with these wards, it gives them the ability to make plays like this happen.
Well, that's the top inhibitor turret going down. The middle one, sorry. The top one's already being worked on as well. Nukeduck was there, but instead they're going to rotate around and say, let's get this inhibitor down. Let's finish it off. Managed to get ourselves the super minions, and Hercubot comes in from the side once again. Let's bounce on Mithy. He's got that Oracle up, tries to throw the hook towards Ocelot. Ace in the hole. This time does land. Mithy taken low. He's going to get dropped, and they defend successfully their inhibitor, but only just.
Yeah, only just. I mean, it's very low in health right now. The thing was, Tabs, he arrived to that fight a little bit late because obviously he was dead. But look at those items. Infinity Edge, Bloodthirster in hand. Doesn't have any attack speed just yet, but when he does hit you, he's going to hit you hard. And if he crits you, that's a big chunk of your life going away. Not to mention that ultimate, which I think might even be used to initiate. If he hits anyone on SK that isn't Hercubot, he's going to just chunk them.
Destiny being used. Where's he going? Dexter's going to get caught out. There it is. His Dexter he's going for. Flashes away from that one. Ocelot trying desperately to turn it around and pick up some more kills. And Dexter, who seems to have Cataclysm available every time he gets near him.
Yeah, I think it's going to be off cooldown. It's almost up right now, but I think it's going to be on cooldown and very shortly within this next fight, obviously. But here we go. We have 6-1 Zoro0. The threat of Baron, 27 minutes in, is very real right now, but also the backdooring or just a straight-up fight on that inhibitor for LemonDogs. If they can take that down, they're going to have great control over this Baron. And a lot of items still be completed here. I mean, we have the last Whisper done for Nukeduck, so he should be able to 1v1 Kevin and Ocelot. He might have a difficult time with Candy Pen. It depends on how the fight goes. But he should be able to put out so much damage that SK is having a really tough time dealing with it.
LemonDogs continue to get their global experience and gold advantage built up over SK Gaming as they take themselves yet another dragon. But, well, we've finally seen Hercubot. Is he going to buy himself time to get that top turret? Well, LemonDogs, they're all coming straight down. SK out of position here. LemonDogs are going to go straight for the inhibitor turret. And the inhibitor on its own. The turret's not there.
He's got it back out. Looks like he's doing it right now, but he did push that mini wave, and that inhibitor should be going down for free for LemonDogs. Though you see the damage coming out of Kevin with that last Whisper done. He still puts out a hefty chunk, and they're actually going to be able to defend it 4v5.
They do manage to keep him away. So, another turret picked up by SK. They're 7-2 down, though, and that's going to be felt in terms of gold, items, experience. And looking across the board, you can see big advantage for Zoro Zero. 11,000 to 8.6k of Kevin. The mid lane, 10.2 to 8.8. Advantages all across the board. The AD carry is actually very close in terms of gold, as are the junglers, because they've both been picking up those kills, assists, etc. And the two supports as well. It's 1,000 gold advantage. That is where the difference is. That's where you can tell the tower difference and the dragon difference. Of course, they've both got 5 and 4 assists, so still close between those two. But it's 1,000 gold for Mithy just from all those towers going down.
I have to say, he just walked by 2 wards, but he's actually going to turn and be able to pick those up. Nuke level 17. He's just waiting for someone to overstep, waiting for someone to just get out of position to blow them up, and it looks like he might be heading for Candy Panda here. I mean, he's waiting in that bush. He's not actually spotted, but oh, he dodges the Q!
Deathmark goes down, though. Candy Panda's going to be in trouble. Ocelot's going to try and come in and save the day, but he's already gone. Stun card goes out. Wildcard follows. Ignite's going to go down. Nuke will drop to this one. No, the Ignite's not going to be enough, and he's saved from it.
And in the meantime, LemonDogs are doing Baron.
Would you believe it? They're getting straight in there. They've took it half health already. This is going down very quickly. Shock Blast comes in. Can they get close enough to interrupt it? There's going to be the wave coming through. Is it enough? They need to do damage. No, it's not going to be there. Hercubot launches himself in, but he's too late. Let's Bounce coming in. They put the exhaust on Zoro Zero. Kevin gets locked in. Dexter trying to throw the hammer on towards him. Tabs is the one that picks up the kill. Ace in the hole lands on towards Ocelot. He uses the Zhonya's, but he's going to get dropped. Tabs puts the Pilt over across him, gets the second kill. And that was a great turn of events for LemonDogs.
And they're still not done. I mean, Nuke, after he got very low in the bottom lane and also had to run over to Baron to help it out, he pushed that turret down. He's going to take the inhibitor down. And not to mention, they're going to take the middle inhibitor off of this. So they're going to have 2 inhibitors and a Baron with no deaths off of that fight.
And they're just going to continue driving forward. Nuke taken very low, but 2 inhibitors get taken along with a Baron. Big turnaround from LemonDogs. You could tell it was coming. You smelt it was getting close. And sure enough, LemonDogs pick up themselves up some huge advantages over SK.
Yes, they did. And that's kind of what they needed. Now they're up almost 10,000 gold at this point. They're all going to back. They're all going to buy up. And they have 3 people with 2,000 gold or more. And they have Mithy with 1,600 gold. So they are sitting on so much money right now that as you see all the items coming in. I mean, you see you have a Void Staff for Zoro. You have a Last Whisper for Tabs. You have a Black Cleaver for Nuke. And you have a Shuralius done for Mithy, so they just bought a ton of items. And SK was already having a tough time dealing with them in these fights. It's only going to be tougher now.
Oh, fantastic stuff. So SK really up against it now. They're finally, for the first time in the game, don't have to contest that red buff. It is going to get given across to Candy Panda, but is it all too little too late? Kevin tried to shove out that top lane. Nuke actually getting stunned up there. Candy Panda comes in from the side. He's going to try and use that death mark on towards Candy Panda to escape. Oh my God! He's got away from it. Zhonya's so dodges out the way of the True Shot barrage. And now we're going to see Ocelot trying to get in there. Does use his ultimate, but doesn't catch on towards him. I can't believe Nuke just escaped that.
I don't think he believes it either, team. And that was just fantastic job by Mithy to get in the right position. And we have to say, I'm thinking about SK, and we've had them talk to us quite a bit about when they get to that 40-minute mark and they're ahead, they have a hard time closing out games. But to me, they play better when they are behind earlier on, so they actually know what to do to get back in the game. And right now, they've been doing a phenomenal job. Like right there, they try to catch Nuke. They almost were able to kill him. And if that happened, that would have been the pick they needed to start pushing up a little bit.
But as it stands, they are fighting against super minions, and LemonDogs with that Baron buff just have that top lane to it. Hercubot getting caught out, flayed up a little bit there. Mithy not really the target he was looking for, wanting to find himself a juicy AD carry. Nuke pulling the wards down in mid, keeping the vision. Super buff minions on towards the Nexus turrets now as well at the bottom. So SK, somebody's got to deal with this. Is it going to be Candy Panda? They're 4v5, sorry, on the most so far on this inhibitor turret. It's already taken to half. They're just keeping on poking it. That's one of the Nexus turrets now down to super minions. They do get the second one down as well. The inhibitor turret dropping. Now they're going to see the pressure. One more inhibitor left, and the double super minions are there. Still, nobody dealing with those super minions just below. Candy Panda finally comes across. You can see a wave of red on the map. That's going to be the third inhibitor turret now. Sorry, inhibitor going down. Super minions doing the job so far, and SK Gaming are under the cosh. They're up against it. Nuke goes aggressive, puts down his death mark on towards Hercubot. He gets his passive popped on the fountain. It doesn't matter. It's LemonDogs that are going to take victory. Cataclysm once again. The story of the game from Dexter as he launches on towards SK and picks up another win. LemonDogs continue to be top of the table like they were at the end of week 6. And you know what? They may be living up to their promise. They said they were going to finish first. They are still in that position.
Yes, they are. I mean, Gambit, they dropped out of that running for the first place. Now it's a 3-way tie between Alternate, LemonDogs, and Fnatic. And that game was just phenomenally well done, just from the get-go, considering what happened with both junglers camping those lanes. We even had an invade come out of LemonDogs. But just so very well done by LemonDogs. I mean, we've seen the impact of Mithy on this team, and considering he came in, you know, halfway through the season, he's been able to take them to the top of the tables.
Well, one thing that has developed over this weekend, it is the bottom of the table. It has started to actually stretch, and now you can see SK and Evil Geniuses on 8 and 11, Meteor Makers on 7 and 12. There's starting to be a gap between there, and would you believe it, it's Ninjas in Pajamas and Gambit are the next two teams to come against, which honestly, you would still count them in towards that top end of the table. It is scary right now in the standings, and the pressure is really starting to build on all of the teams that are in that situation.
Yeah, and I really wonder the pressure that they're under because of that. Like, knowing you work this whole season, these 7 weeks now, to get into these playoffs, and then you kind of maybe fall out. But because of that divide that's happening towards the bottom, they have to feel a little bit more secure, but it's still not done. They still have 8 more games to play each, I believe it is, and they have a lot of work ahead of them.
Yeah, 8 games is a big difference when there's, what, 3 games between them already. Exactly. So that's 3 wins they have to get out of 8. That is a scary ask. And then you've got to think all the other teams are going to be picking up wins around there. Even if you give them a 50%, which most of them are on 50%, that means they actually have to win minimal 6 of those 8 games.
That is a hefty feat. But, you know, with it getting closer to playoffs, you know, each team is taking this even more serious than the week before, because they know they want to get to these playoffs. They want to get to the World Finals, and we've seen what it means to a lot of these teams to get there and to be there when a lot of their fans expect them to be there, like EG and SK. Like, they expect them to be at those finals, and to kind of not maybe meet their hopes might hurt a little bit for them.
Well, we've seen the likes of Taipei Assassins maybe crumbling and falling, the champions. So, you know, EG, they finished 3rd. If Taipei Assassins, who won it, can fall out the favor, then maybe EG and SK could as well. The 2 European representatives are there alongside Gambit. This is scary times for all of the teams in the European LCS for sure.
But I love it, though. Because
I love it.
I mean, it's bad to say to the older teams that have been there, but having these new teams come in and prove to everyone, like, you know, it's not just about the top 4 European teams that everyone knows the names of. It's about
fresh
these
talent.
Yeah, exactly. They're coming in with like all these new ideas, with all this new energy, and they're making it work for them.
Well, you've seen it across the board as well in the American scene as well. Obviously, the fact that we see Cloud9 up there, who, other than being manned at the spring qualifiers, they would have been there in the first season. It was just a base race that they chose and lost by about 1 second gap.
Yeah.
I was casting that game with Kobe, and it was very, very close, I can tell you. But Cloud9, they're doing it in North America, but right here in Europe, it is much, much closer. And I'm loving what I'm seeing right now from the LemonDogs. They are a team that, as we mentioned at the start, have snuck under the radar. They came in very cocksure of themselves. Seems to be working now.
And they kind of mellowed out after they said that, too. They're like, all right, you know, we're just trying to do our best here. But they've been winning more and more, and their cockiness has still gone down even more. Like, they're just completely humble about it. And
I'd just to check out their stats since Mithy joined, because they seem to be picking up wins.
It's ridiculous, yeah. Like, I mean, we've heard him when we talked to him, you know, in interviews over in Tenerife. We talked to him on the analysis desk. He has a lot to say, and when we talked to him back on the players' conference when we were there in Tenerife, they all said, like, he's brought so much life to the team. He's really the man to go to in terms of how to lead them. He's getting them all to practice a lot more, and considering he's the new addition, he wasn't there from the get-go when Nuke made the team, he's still having that impact on the team.
Well, let's see what impact he has had, because the man that just had his Zed life saved was Nuke. He is alongside Shox.
Thank you very much. Nuke, congratulations. Great game on Zed. Let's start with that level 1 invade by SK. It didn't go very well for you guys. What happened there?
Basically, we just did the same invade as them, but Ryze took a very risky route and they were camping there, so that's why he died. It wasn't necessarily like our level 1 strategy, it was just him taking a risky path.
Tell me about your Zed pick. Zed used to be extremely popular. Now we don't see him that often anymore. Why do you still prefer him?
I still like Zed a lot. I played him a lot, so he's just one of my favorite champions, and I don't think he's that weak, so I pick him.
What was the general strategy going into this game? Because you guys took a lot of towers really quickly and kills. How come that you guys are like so tuned in on each other right now?
Our plan was just to do a mirror invade with SK, because they usually, when they win, they gain all their advantage from level 1 in early game and just snowball that. So we wanted to just make sure we had equal early game, or equal level 1, and then from there try to like play a little bit passive the early game. But we had Caitlyn, and they managed to kill top 2v2 in a gank, so their tower push was slowed down heavily, and Caitlyn pushed our bot. So from there it snowballed into 3 towers and Drake.
Yeah, so you guys are now in first place. You guys have always been a very ambitious team, and you're now in that first place with Alternate, with Fnatic. How big are your chances, you think, that you can stay there until the end of the season?
I think we can stay in top 1, but everything can happen at playoffs. And also we might drop out of top 1, because there are still many games to play.
Yeah, and starting tomorrow, a game against Fnatic, who played some crazy strats here. Is that going to change your preparation going into them tomorrow?
No, not really. It's really hard to prepare for Fnatic at all, because they usually have some kind of new picks every game. So.
All right, thank you very much, and congratulations once again. Now it's time to check in with D-Man Jason once more to guide us through today's results and